Good morning, students. Today we will be studying chapter 2, Nationalism in India. This is the only one chapter which will be coming in your term 2, that is board exam. Okay, so students, nationalism in India. When you hear the word nationalism, what type of a meaning arises in your mind? Different types of meaning arise. Someone say love and affection towards one's country, or you can say a feeling of pride towards one's motherland. Okay, so national is nothing but love and affection towards one's motherland, own country. Okay, now, but this word nationalism was not present among the Indians till late 90s. It has to be incorporated in the minds of Indians. The reason was that in those days when we were ruled by the Britishers, colonial rule was on us. So what was happening, India was divided in various princely states and all, and they were ruling us. So there was no collective unity among these rulers. They were only confined to their own regions, to their own language, custom and traditions. So let us see what happened in this chapter. Okay, now in this chapter you shall study about Gandhian era, which happened from 1905. Previous class in 8th and down you must study about extremist and moderate phase. This will study about Gandhian phase, okay, in this chapter. Students, from 1912 to 1918, during this period, we saw in our country various famines and drought took place. Lot of other natural calamities like epidemics, plague and all were caused. Apart from that, we saw when we were ruled by the Britishers, there were forced recruitment in British army from the villages, countryside and all, because of which many Indians were unhappy, angry on this. And moreover, from 1914 to 1918, this was the period of World War I. World War I was in progress. So many soldiers many Indians who were recruited as the soldiers in British army, they were fighting for the Britishers in various continents, in various countries, okay, for the British army. And British army, they used to put the Indian soldiers on the forward post. They used to guide them from the back. So there used to be more casualties from the Indian soldiers. So this was one reason, calamities was another reason, drought and famine another reason. Overall, you can see around 13 million people died in India during this period. And when the census of the country was counted in 1921, population went in minus. First time it went in minus. That is why the year of 1921 is known as Year of Great Divide. First time in the history of India, the population of the country went in minus. But since then, till today, it has never gone in minus. There is only increasing rate. Okay, friends. Now, this was the basic things which were happening in India. World War I was going on, and by the end of World War I, Britishers lost much of their national income. So, to gain back their national income, to increase the national income, they doubled the taxes in those countries where they were ruling. And one among them was our country, India. Everything they have kept tax, like tax on irrigation, tax on grazing of animals. Okay, every activity they have kept tax. Okay, nothing was left from the Britishers which was not taxed. Okay, now Mahatma Gandhi arrived in India in 1915. Okay, 1915. He established his Sabarmati Ashram in 1916. Sabarmati Ashram in 1916. Now, he came to India from South Africa, where successfully he fought for the racial discrimination which was going in South Africa. So, Indians were very much aware of the Gandhi's success in South Africa. So, when he arrived, many different sections of the society which were deprived from various problems, from centuries, years, decades, all these people were having a type of hope arise among these people. Among such people, there was the Champaran people. Champaran, it is in Bihar, district of Bihar. Champaran is the district of Bihar, where the indigo plantation workers were unhappy with the price which were fixed by the Britishers of their own produce. Means the peasants of Champaran, they were producing indigo, but they were not able to fix their prices of their own produce. Britishers were fixing the prices and they were purchasing them with that price. So they wanted to have very good price, to have reasonable price for their produce. So they invited Mahatma Gandhi to Champaran in 1916-17. And Mahatma Gandhi went to Champaran. He went too fast till their demand was fulfilled. Finally, it was a successful campaign of Mahatma Gandhi in Champaran. Later, in 1917, he went to Kheda district of Gujarat. There, the peasants were unhappy with the hike in the revenue, hike in the tax of the Britishers. Okay, they wanted to have relaxation in the tax which were levied by the Britishers on them. The reason was that there was drought, famine and plague in this region. So they were willing to have relaxation in the tax so that they can come up in coming years with their produce and they can have a normal life. But the Britishers were not ready to accept their demands. So they wanted it to be fulfilled with the help of Mahatma Gandhi. So in 1917, Mahatma Gandhi solved the problems of the Kheda district farmers. Kheda is in Gujarat. Next, in 1918, Mahatma Gandhi was called to solve the problems of the cotton mill workers of Ahmedabad. The cotton mill workers of Ahmedabad were not getting their wages or salaries from past 3 to 6 months. There was no hike in their salaries and wages from many years. So they wanted to get back their salaries and wages which were not given to them from past few years and months, and they wanted even to hike in their salaries and wages. So Mahatma Gandhi went to fast till their demand was fulfilled. Finally, it was a successful campaign here also. And by these three movements, Mahatma Gandhi became very popular among the Indian masses. His followers started increasing day by day, and people used to attract towards his policies, programs, words which Mahatma Gandhi used to deliver. Okay, now by seeing all these happenings in India, the people in India, there was a different type of atmosphere. Okay, it is a Josh type of atmosphere. Okay, the moral spirit of the people of the Indians became a little high, and they started seeing a type of ray of brightness in Mahatma Gandhi's all this activity for their future. Okay, so in India, after 1917, 18 and all, the movements, the rallies, the dharnas, they became more in various parts of India. By seeing this, the Britishers became little alert. They wanted to stop or control these movements, rallies, dharnas, strikes. Okay, so in the year 1919, Britishers passed an act which was known as Rowlatt Act. This act was passed by the Britishers without taking the concern or opinion of the Indian leaders. In a hurry, they have passed this act. Now, what is the meaning of this act? What was the purpose of this act? By passing this act, Britishers can arrest any Indian, any politicians, any leaders, any individual without saying the cause or the reason of the arrest. And the person who will be arrested, they will be detained in the jail for minimum of custody of 2 years. They will not get any bail. Okay, for 2 years. Minimum 2 years they have to spend in jail. So after this law was passed, there was a lot of frustration, lot of anger, lot of, you can say, envisage to take, badla type of feeling. Okay, was there among the Indians. So this, because of this, Mahatma Gandhi in the year 1919 only, he wanted to call for a mass movement against this Rowlatt Act. But Britishers, they barred Mahatma Gandhi to enter Delhi. Various leaders, important prominent leaders across the nation, they were arrested. Same thing happened in Amritsar in Punjab. The prominent leader of Amritsar, Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Khichlu, were arrested, and martial law was imposed in Amritsar. Now, this was not known to many people around those places. Like present, we have today so many social sites, so many social media. Anything happens in any part of the world anyway, within minutes and seconds we come to know. But in those days it was not like that, no. Newspaper and mouth-to-mouth campaigning was the main source. Okay, so many people were not betrayed. Everyone can't read the newspaper also. So there was not much awareness about this martial law which was imposed in Amritsar in 1919. General O'Dwyer was taking the responsibility, or the you can say law and order was given to General O'Dwyer of Amritsar. Okay, now it was 13th April 1919. That day was even day of Baisakhi Day, a harvest festival celebration in Punjab. So in Jallianwala Park, people from various neighboring villages, they have gathered to celebrate the festival of Baisakhi fair. Mela laga hua tha. Okay. Now, in that fair, many people have gathered to enjoy the fair, and in one of the corner we see there was a small meeting was going on, very silent way, how to release those leaders, local leaders of Amritsar. Now, as we know, the in charge of Amritsar was given to General Dyer. He enters the park without, and there was only one entry, one exit. And without giving any warning on the mob, on the people, on the processions, he closed the entry gate and opens fire on these people. You know, in this incident, hundreds and thousands of people were killed. Many died because of stamping. Many were injured. Many tried to jump across the wall. They were shot down there. Many they tried to jump in the well. So it was one of the most barbaric incidents in the history of India so far. This incident was criticized all over the world by various political leaders and various nation heads. Okay, and this incident shocked the entire nation. Jallianwala Bagh massacre. So after this incident, Mahatma Gandhi called off that mass movement, mass demonstration, and he wanted to have non-violence type of rallies and dharnas or movements in India. He don't want that any rallies, any movement should become violent where there will be loss of life of men and women in such type of rallies. So Mahatma Gandhi wanted to carry all his processions in a peaceful and a non-violence way. So student, this was the Rowlatt Act and Jallianwala Bagh incident. Tomorrow we'll continue with Khilafat movement and non-cooperation movement. By the time, take care. See you.